Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. First off, let me go ahead and thank some people who bought me a coffee. Someone bought me a coffee. Alan bought me 3 coffees and Jack also with 3 coffees. Thank you guys so much. Your support means a lot to me and goes a long way for me to continue making these videos. In today's video, I'll tell you about foreigner jailed for 28 years has a message for you, loud mufflers, foreigners with no clothes, plus much more, beginning with the USD to peso exchange rate. Right now, $1 equal to 57.7. Let's start off with undesirable aliens in the Philippines. The Philippines immigration authorities recently arrested several foreign fugitives, including South Korean national Lee Min-ho, not the actor, wanted for a violent crime in his home country. Lee, 37, was apprehended in Clark Freeport Zone following the South Korean warrant for assault involving baseball bat in 2019. He's also under Interpol Red Notice. Other arrests include Shalabi Nidal Mahd Sulaiman, a 53-year-old Jordanian wanted in Dubai for theft over 110,000 English pounds, and Wie Xiafeng, 28-year-old Chinese national accused of using hidden cameras to invade privacy and disturb illicit recordings online, and Chen Chi, 32, and Huang Chunfu, 31, Taiwanese nationals linked to the Bamboo Triad involved in fraud and smuggling. The Bureau of Immigration emphasized a commitment to expel foreign criminals, ensuring they are blacklisted and banned from re-entry. Philippines Bureau of Investigation and Immigration doing all they can to go ahead and get rid of some of these undesirable aliens. And I personally will do my best to never end up on that list or any unwanted list. I'm trying to live my life and not go to prison. Speaking of prison, here's our next story. John, a 55-year-old man from Denmark, is enduring a harrowing ordeal in the Thai prison after being arrested in 2021 for possessing grass and some other substances. Originally sentenced for 28 years, changes in laws and successful appeals have reduced his sentence to just 5 years. But the experience remains deeply traumatic. He describes the harsh realities of prison life, overcrowded cells, constant noise, and isolation of being a foreigner. His message is clear. Never underestimate the dangers of substance-related crimes in a foreign country. With 15 other Danes currently in prison in Asia for similar offenses, John's story serves as a powerful warning. One mistake can change everything. Just another reminder, you do not want to end up in prison anywhere in Southeast Asia. Thai prisons, Philippine prisons, any of these prisons are not a place you want to really be in. Of course, no prison is good, but these ones especially are on another level. One thing that does kind of make me wonder is what happens when Thailand flip-flops back into their yes for grass, no for grass. So what's going to happen to that prison sentence and time? I hope he gets out before Thailand changes his mind once again regarding their stance on the devil's lettuce. Next up, a story that many of you guys will be happy to hear, I'm sure, if you live in the Philippines. About 276 improvised mufflers were destroyed by rolling them over on Friday morning in front of the Tagbilaran police station. Such a number of illegal motorcycle thugs were reported by the police during sub-sub checkpoint operations and Upulan Sita Sud for 5 months. Basically, these mufflers are illegal, they're too loud, they got holes in them and all kinds of improvised, you can't put that stuff on your bike, reducing some of the noise level in that area, Tagbilaran. I think that's in Bohol, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong if you're from there. So yeah, the Philippines, one of those places. The thing that gets me, there's noise everywhere pretty much in many countries, but the worst is right when I'm about to fall asleep, like a very loud motorbike goes by, who knows, like even 3-5 kilometers away from me, and it kind of wakes me up, and that's when I just can't fall back asleep again. So I always have these, like, they're not really the best, but they do the trick, these simple earplugs. I mean, they're good enough for me to at least drown out some of that noise until I fall asleep. I typically am a deep sleeper, but just sometimes if I wake up at the beginning of while trying to fall asleep, it's very hard for me to go back to sleep. Share your thoughts about this particular story, noise levels in your neighborhood in the Philippines, because of course it's going to differentiate between where people live, subdivisions, condominiums, of course, business areas, or out in the province. Have you had any luck, success? Is noise even an issue for you? Some people may not mind because they come from noisy places like the cities or whatever. Leave your thoughts down below. Next up, the Mandaue city government has banned e-bikes for passenger transport, citing safety and traffic concerns. The decision has left drivers like Rudy Baltonado and Junior Etgano in financial distress as e-bikes have become their primary source of livelihood due to their efficiency compared to traditional tricycles. Many drivers unable to afford e-bike ownership relied on rentals and faced mounting expenses from installment payments and electricity costs. Despite these challenges, e-bikes offer high earnings and address commuter needs in areas with limited public transportation options. The ban prohibits e-bikes on all city roads, with violators facing fines and vehicle impoundment. Drivers and residents are appealing for support, highlighting the impact on livelihoods and community mobility. They are willing to comply with regulations if officials provide legal avenues for operations. The policy underscores the tension between modernization and regulations, with officials prioritizing safety while drivers and commuters emphasize the necessity of e-bikes in their daily lives. One of those debates, once again, yes to e-bikes, no to e-bikes. Yes to jeepney modernization, no to jeepney modernization. This is one of those things where I personally kind of fall down the middle. It doesn't really affect me. I understand both sides. I don't really have a strong feeling towards either or. What about you? Do you use an e-bike? Do you get into a jeepney? Do you think they should kind of get away with all this stuff? It's difficult to say because a lot of us, I think, we're probably looking from the outside perspective. We're not the daily commuters in jeepneys. We're not the ones making money from, obviously providing an e-bike service. So staying with electricity, Siargao Island has been without electricity since December 1st due to a fault in the submarine cable connecting it to mainland Mandaue. The outage caused by the ground fault at the Crackdown substation affects over 36,000 households and businesses across 9 municipalities. Repair efforts are ongoing, but no issues have been found at the suspected damaged section. The blackout has also disrupted water supplies as most communities rely on electric pumps. Governor Robert Lyndon Barbers has mobilized relief efforts, including fuel and generator sets, while Congressman Francisco Jose Matugas II announced the arrival of 30 generators and 300 solar panels. Imagine being without electricity for almost 10 days or more. Now, I wouldn't know what to do, you don't realize some of the stuff until it happens. Just a simple blackout can leave your whole day messed up, right? So, living there, water, electricity, I don't know how they're charging their phones, if they can even watch this YouTube video. If anybody's within that region or knows any more information about it in Siargao, please share what's going on in the comment section down below. Let's head on over to our next story. Next up, the Ninoy Aquino International Airport NAIA Terminal 3 has launched a centralized transport hub for transport network vehicle services. The 6,000 square meter facility located at the multi-level parking building features 401 parking slots, 18 loading bays, and dedicated TNVS lanes, currently accommodating metered taxis and Grab. The hub will soon include Joyride and N-Cars. Passengers without ride-hailing apps can book rides on site through lounges adjacent to the parking area. The hub, operational since September the 5th, aims to ease congestion and improve traffic flow, especially during holiday season, according to the new NAIA InfraCorp. Joyride and N-Cars will join operations starting this week. Anything they can do to make that whole experience more smooth, I'm all for it. Well done. I hope this actually reduces some of the stuff they mentioned. I cannot wait to see the improvements soon to come. And now, time to head on over to the land of smiles, Thailand. An Australian man caused a disturbance in Nang Krabao, Pattaya yesterday morning by running butt naked, damaging vehicles and setting his house on fire. Whoa. Police and firefighters responded to the chaotic scene and subdued the man, identified as Andrew, 38-year-old. After a struggle, he was taken to the hospital for treatment of his cuts and burns. Neighbors disclosed that Andrew suffers from bipolar disorder and depression, which worsened after he missed his medication. Authorities are now reviewing his mental health and visa status to determine further legal action. Mental health is not a joke. One more quick story from Thailand before we go to Canada. So, Bangkok has been crowned the world's leading tourism city for 2024 by Euromonitor International, welcoming a record-breaking 32.4 million visitors. This figure significantly surpasses Istanbul, the second-ranked city with 23 million arrivals. The Thai capital's success is attributed to its robust tourism policies, including a 60-day visa exemption for citizens of 93 countries and expanded visa on arrival eligibility for 31 nations. These measures, combined with Thailand's general appeal, have bolstered its position as the global tourism hotspot. Bangkok exceeded pre-pandemic tourism levels in 2023 by 30% growth in 2024, showcasing the resilience of Thailand's tourism industry. However, despite its visitors' numbers, Bangkok did not rank among the top 10 cities for overall attractiveness, a list led by Paris, Madrid, and Tokyo. The report also highlights the challenges facing global tourism, such as labor shortages, geopolitical tensions, and economic uncertainty. A notable trend is growing popularity of secondary cities and slower-paced travel as strategies to combat over-tourism emerge. Whoa! So, no surprise for me, Bangkok's number one. But the fact that they're 10 million more than the second place, which is Istanbul, one of my favorite cities still, is a surprise to me. So Bangkok, a couple things I don't like about pollution in Bangkok is horrible, and also transportation, like getting around, the traffic is horrible. Istanbul, I cannot stand the fact that they all smoke. Personally, as a non-smoker, I can smell that everywhere. Even in your room, you can smell it coming through the next door. Restaurants, cafes, ain't nobody care. They're living their life. They're enjoying themselves. Smoking is one issue for me. And language in Istanbul, many people don't speak English. Turkish is obviously the national language. So for me, two lovely cities. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you think of the list I'm going to put up here? Top 10 tourism cities. And have you been to any of them? Have you been to all of them? Have you been to none of them? Share your stories. What are some of your favorite cities from these lists, or just tell me your own. And our last story from Canada, Air Canada will launch non-stop services between Vancouver and Manila beginning April 2nd, 2025. The direct service will be 4 times a week using a Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft. But for people like me living on the East Coast from Toronto or anywhere like that, it takes over 5 hours just to get to Vancouver, bro. So for me, it's not a big deal. But for those living in Vancouver, hey-oh, direct flight, ain't no layovers, take a sleeping pill, do something, sleep the whole way down to Manila, and enjoy your trip. And now it's time for a segment called Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. And if you want to see my exclusive interview with Michael from That Philippines Life, I just released that video on my main channel. I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description and the comments down below if you want to see that interview, figure out and find out why Michael came to the Philippines. This is one of 3 videos I'm going to put out, one about his life, one about his business, and one about the upgrade of his house. If you guys know him or want to know what's life like in the Philippines, a great channel, and I'm going to go ahead and feature that. So go ahead and click that down below. Now here's our top comments. Our previous video was about the rising cost of living in the Philippines and whether it's still worth it. Roger says, it may be cheaper here, but the ever-increasing pollution from vehicles, poor services in almost every store, poor quality Chinese merchandise, rubbish-lined streets, and constantly barking dogs create an atmosphere which I have little desire to remain living in. Whoa, some shots fired at some life situations in the Philippines. I cannot dispute any of those things. I can't say otherwise. Everybody has a different experience, and certain things that may bother me may not bother you. Certain things that bother you may not bother me. However, thank you for sharing. Let's go on to our next comment. 25 Soupy says, in August I bought 4 peaches that were in season in Canada and it was $9.85. 4 organic peaches was $16. I didn't buy them. I rarely eat out at all anymore in Canada, and I don't even want to go for coffee because it's like $4 minimum at Starbucks. I'm also a permanent resident of Mexico, and prices have gone up 40 to 50% in years. Basically everywhere in the world, inflation has hit everyone about equally. Starbucks cost me the same in the Philippines and Mexico as it does in Canada. As Alex mentioned, I also believe that other Southeast Asian countries are slightly cheaper, but I believe it is the fact that you get more bang for your buck at the same price. That would be a better description. For example, a $25 hotel in the Philippines has no hot water, dirty sheets, not very clean, no window, but for the same hotel in Thailand or Vietnam, it's a really nice place for full shower, hot water, etc. I agree. Once again, I can't disagree with anything this gentleman has said. Leave your comments down below, anything you want to share. And of course, if you guys want to really show your support, you can buy me coffee, much appreciated. Or you can just simply watch his videos, click that thumbs up button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.